Hello people, welcome back here to the channels Tapa Olho Azul and Super Acadêmico. And today I'm going to make some comments about a year, a year reading I'm doing with the audiobook from the author, let's see, Daniel Kahneman. Kahneman. The book I'm still reading, I'm still hearing reading is Thinking Fast and Slow. Well, uh, Daniel Kahneman, I'll talk about a little about him and about my reading and understanding about this book. He's a winner of the Nobel Prize in Economics. Some biography about him, Daniel Kahneman, as an Israeli-American psychologist and economist, notable for his work on the psychology of judgments and decision-making, as well as behavioral economics, for which he was awarded in 2002 with the Nobel Prize in Economic Science, shared with Vernon Smith. His empirical findings challenge the assumption of human rationality prevailing in modern economic theory. And it talks about some more of his work. Well, the essential thing about this book, it's very different from the kind of reading that I used to do, especially considering my background in philosophy and sociology. Because when I found the book, the yearbook in YouTube, here in YouTube, I thought was some kind of a self-help book about fast thinking, about how to think faster, something like that. And then, as I began to hear the book, I saw that was something very well, much more well developed about a research that he then is Daniel Kahneman and his friend Amos, let's see the name of the other, Amos Tversky. They researched for a long time during good part of the 20th century about the assumption that people, when make decisions, they use the rational mind. And there was a theory in psychology that the rational mind was dominant in the human, in human mind, in human society. Eventually, we know now, know today with the researches in neuroscience that there is not there isn't such thing as rational mind and a not rational mind. There is a system which was developed with the evolution of human physiology, where our decision making is based on what Daniel Kahneman calls two systems operating together in some kind of a assessment of the knowledge in the environmental zone. Is a heritage of what we learn in our early days in the forest, in the savage days, I don't know, something like that. It's basically when we assess the information that surrounds us, one system makes a fast decision, makes makes a decision that is mostly connected to our survival. So it's based on instinct, or what he calls um, um, intuition. He calls intuition, and this intuition is mostly right when treats with dealings that affects our survival. Like if we hear loud noise close to us, we got the attention to this noise because it could be a threat to our life, like an animal, a car, explosion, something like that. So we act like without thinking because we think fast, because we use the part of our system, of a neurological system, that acts on intuition, not exactly instinct, but intuition. And he says that we develop along the time this other system that we connect with the rationality, where we analyze things with more time, with a little bit more effort from the mind to decide if something is right, wrong, is a good decision, is a bad decision, what is the best decision in the process. And also, he says that his findings with his colleagues, his co-workers, uh, through his life or research, and showed that most people, most people, great majority of people, don't know how to assess statistics knowledge to make decision, to apprehend the surroundings. What he says is that we make the decisions based on stories, causality stories that the system, the first system, the intuition system, assess most rapidly and then transform it into the truth of the decision. And that's the problem. We decide too fast. And he says that the other system, that rational system, what he calls system 2, is too slow or lazy, and mostly let the work be done by the first system, the intuition, the system 1 he calls. But in the complexity of our society, in our way of develop the world, the society, the democracy, the politics, the relations, the work relations, the professions, the whatever, it's very hard to keep a sustainable rate of decisions that are right based on intuition, only in intuition. He says that when someone that is very experienced, like he makes example with chess masters and CEOs of companies, but there are other examples of people that do something for a long time, have experience doing something in a very long time. They seem to make decisions based on intuitions very fast, and most of the times they are right. But that happens not because they did not develop the system 2, the rational system, is because it developed during so much time that helps the system 1, the intuition, to works correctly in a situation that's more difficult for others. One example that he quotes is the chess master. When he looks to the chessboard, he sees the plays. He sees the ways to play very easy, while I, for example, cannot do that. I have to think a lot because I don't play chess very often. I just I used to forget the rules, the positions. When I restart playing, I have to relearn everything again. So I don't have the the facility. I don't have the way to put the things in a way that are supposed to make the movements easy and correct, like a chess master that looks at the board for some seconds or even less and find immediately the way that the game will play. So this example, along others, says to us that our minds, in, in all the complexity that we heritage and that we receive from our people in the past, helps us to deal with everyday problems. But we can, I'm close to the end of the book, but I see what he's trying to say about the process of decision making. We can train ourselves to deviate from the intuitions that are the easy way to answer the questions, the decisions, and look in a way that you can assess the statistical ways of thinking that requires more effort from the mind to look for the answer in a more rational way, in a more uh, grounded way. Because the biggest problem that we have, that's me interpreting what he's saying as a consequence to our society. In our society, in everyday life, we make decisions based on what we feel in the moments, and we don't think a lot about, even when the facts and the numbers, the statistics shows something different, we tend to go into what we already believe in, what we have learned to believe in. And then it's very hard to slow down the think and let our rational brain, our rational part, the system 2 that Daniel Kahneman says, acts in a way that we can make the right decisions, not ignoring instincts or intuition, but assessing other types of knowledge, other types of data, of facts that can help you make a better decision, a decision that's not only based on your intuition. And he has an expression that says that it's called bias intuition. All intuition are bias because we tend to make the decision based on what we know already. So new facts are often ignored. It's like the political situation here in Brazil and in other countries. It's like someone that's inside a narrative about some certain people in the politics. They are so into the narrative that they cannot accept simple facts that show that the narrative is a lie, is false. So they have to correct the narrative with other kinds of lies, other kinds of false information. So it can't go on. Since they can't accept the fact that they are wrong, they've been deceived, they were lied to. So it keeps some people, some good people, in a bad situation because of this. It's very sad. And this book of Daniel Kahneman, let's say again the title: Fast Thinking, Fast and Slow. It's a good way to learn how to slow down and use our ability, our capability of thinking, of going to a more grounded way of making the decisions about what we believe, about how we see life, how we see our political system, our social system, our economic system. And well, I think it's a good way to start changing your thinking. So I recommend this reading or hearing. Right? I'm making the video in English exactly because I heard the book. I'm still hearing the book. I haven't finished yet in English, so I recommend that. It's a very interest reading or hearing, whatever. So that's it for today, for this week in English here in the channels Super Acadêmico em Itapaulá Azul. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels, give the like, and hit the bell for notifications, comments, share the video, and we see next week with another video. Bye bye.